There's a bite.
Slip floats are catfishing tools that are simply underutilized by serious cat anglers. Learning to use the slip float will allow you to take shallow water cats that up until now have been relatively untapped. Here's Red River guide Stu Mackay and Steve Panaz with the details.
Stu, so when do you go to slip floats versus just anchoring out in the channel?
Well, really, it depends on conditions. And this year, for example, in the spring, the conditions are perfect.
And water temp's up around 60. And
yeah, well, the fish will move in and out of the shallows all the time anyways. Right now, they're up in that dam area, and water levels are just perfect. We'll be catching these fish in anywhere from about 1 to 3 feet of water.
you know, most people don't even think of fishing cats in that shallow.
No, that's true enough, but...
Come on back. You rely mostly on cut bait when you're fishing that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can fish other baits as well, but cut bait, I use more cut bait. I probably use cut bait over 95% of the season I use cut bait.
Can't argue with success.
No, you can't. You really can't. But this is going to be fun. If you haven't experienced this before, you're going to have a hoot with it. It is a lot of fun.
Downstream.
Yeah, exactly.
We're fishing very shallow water. It's 2 feet right now, just a little over 2 feet.
Okay, right here.
3-2, 3-1.
Okay. This is perfect right here.
Boy, Stu, you can actually see right in here, you can see the water bulging over the rock pile right here, and then it drops into that little gully. And you're getting most of the fish on the front of the rocks or actually right on top of the rocks?
They could be underneath us or anywhere all around it. They could be sitting tight right in that rock pile right now and all the way down the shoreline here. But it runs shallow, and that's the nice part about a float. There's a big carp.
Big carp right here.
Nice part about a float is you can cover so much of this area. If you're fishing lead in here, you're only limited to what you can fish, but with a float, you can actually run that baby down a couple 100 feet if you want.
These fish here, these cats that are moving up in shallow, they're there to feed.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
These fish are gonna be real aggressive.
Definitely. Yeah, you're no mistaking it. When the cork goes down, it's like a gunshot.
Let me grab.
Let's do her.
I got some bait. We'll cut it up here. Stu, we've got some options here on cut bait. What do you prefer?
Well, when we're float fishing, like number one, that head is good anytime. Because of all that blood cavity, the skull cavity up in here, just loaded with scent. So that's always a good bait. Then your midsections are obviously real good too because of the stomach cavity. You know, you've got all that scent in there. The tail section, in most cases, when we're fishing main channels and that,
you toss it.
Yeah, very seldom, do we use it. Now it's different here when we're working floats. They'll hit just about, and we fly fish for these guys in here, shallow water. No kidding.
That'd be a kick.
Oh yeah, it is. So, but anything and everything works under these conditions.
Alrighty.
So all we need is a couple rods. They're all ready to go, and we'll start. So
show me how you hook your cut bait.
Yeah, that's a real easy deal too, actually. All we're doing, and again, like I'll just back up what I'm preaching here, is the fact that I'm confident even in a tail section which has the least amount of scent in it. But all we're doing here is we're taking and that could apply to any piece of bait there, we're running the hook through the open part of the cut, crossing the spine, crossing over, and then coming out the other side.
But the important thing is you're leaving that hook gap wide open.
Yeah, you want that to work for you,
A lot of people like to take that cut bait and they thread that stuff on there.
Right, and you're burying the point of the hook.
Right.
There's no throat, the throat's all closed up in there. That's a big mistake. So that's all you want to do. Catfish aren't afraid of a hook.
Stu, you've been fishing floats for cats for a long time. Take me through the rig and why do you use each component?
Well, again, this setup here, it's got a shorter snout, shorter leader. It's no different than fishing main channels and that. But the reason we use the barrel swivel here, it acts as a stop, because we do have to have a big cork like this. You do have to have some lead on there, be it a 1/2 ounce or 1 ounce lead, doesn't matter. So that it serves as a swivel. It serves to prevent twist, and also more importantly is the fact that it uses as a lead stop. Okay. And then you've got your float, of course. We've got a bead up in here to assist or to prevent the float from going up over top.
And now you don't actually trim your float stop.
Not in here because we're fishing real shallow water. If you were running that long lead here, these leads, through your guides and fishing in 10 feet of water, you'd be in trouble, as you know.
Yeah.
But this case here, we're only fishing maximum about 3 feet of water, so we don't need that. We need at least 3 or 4 feet to cast with anyways.
So it makes it a little bit easier to adjust. Now, Stu, as far as the leader goes, what are you fishing?
You wanna have a good heavy leader on here. You got 40 pound leader on here, just to resist the rock abrasion. Also the catfish, with all those little teeth in his mouth, he'll really beat up that line bed. So we'll go with a heavy leader versus a light leader.
And you like big game for what reason?
Well, again, it just resists abrasion really well. It does a good job. I'll tell you what really impresses me is this high vid stuff. Seriously, for the type of fishing we do, low light visibility, this stuff's a bit of magic. You can see the line. It's perfect. Now what you want to do here is cast up into the current, and when that once the line starts coming down, you want to pick the line up a little bit and slowly retrieve. You want to prevent a big bow from developing in your line, simply because if you get a fish and you've got that massive bow and you can't set the hook. So it's a little
kind of
tricky.
like mending your line when you're dry fly fishing.
Same thing. You could call it mending. This is kind of what we're doing, minus the fly equipment.
You know what's nice about this, though? This is an active form of catfishing.
I was just waiting. I was waiting for you to say that, because it's a hands-on operation.
For the guys that don't like to anchor the boat and sit and fish the current seams and things.
Right.
It's you got the rod in your hand, you're working it, you're moving it. Look, you're fishing crappies now, just jigging it.
Little twitch, set out that vibration. Let them hear it.
Got a bite, Stu? There. Yeah, there he is. I got a bite too. Get him. I got him. Double hitter. Now that's how shallow that water is. That fish is just pounding on it. You know, he's running right at the boat. Look at it. That fish is running right at the boat, Stu.
Nowhere's to go. They can't go down. They got it. Look at this.
Yeah, you're right. There's no place they can go.
Nope.
You know what? You're gonna have to net that fish yourself.
Yeah, I'll get him.
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hand.
Just pass her back here, Steve, and I'll net it. And
there you go. Here, I got you hooked on a cleat.
Okay.
I keep my line tight so I don't lose this fish. Boy, if this isn't proof that floats work.
Oh, don't they work, man? Don't they? It's exciting. It's like you say, like for yourself, you haven't done the cat. You fish lots of floats, obviously, but you haven't done the cat thing. And it's just it's a fast-paced way of fishing for them. Look, you got a nice fish there.
It's actually a smaller fish.
Still a cat. All right.
You got two
Double
in the
hitter
net.
in the bag. Huh?
You got two in the net.
There,
now
look at
this, I'll tell you what, is that testament that floats work?
Floats
right there.
work.
2 fish.
Ooh, baby.